Hello, Zuko here, and I'm going to be doing a video that I've heard is controversial, and that would be a book Unhaul. So basically, I'm getting rid of a bunch of books that I no longer want. Most of them are books that I bought when I was younger, and that I don't have any interest in reading anymore as an adult. Just because I'm getting rid of a book or didn't like a book does not mean that it has to impact your views on the book at all. I don't know why I have to clarify that, because my opinions shouldn't impact what you enjoy, but I am, because everybody else seems to, and I can't send these to you. I don't have the money to ship anything to anybody, but yeah, I thought I'd just state that in case anyone wanted to ask. Just don't bother. These are all going to be donated to a local used bookstore, and yeah, let's get on with it. The first books that I am unhauling are Fell and the Sight by David Clements Davis. I bought these because I really like wolves, but at this point I don't feel like I want to read about wolves doing wolf things, so they're gonna go. The next books are the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series. I read the first one in like 7th grade. I don't know what happened to this copy. It has like writing and stuff all over it. I didn't do that, I promise. But I read that in 7th or 8th grade and I really enjoyed it, but I tried to read the second one and I just couldn't get into them, so if I'm not gonna read them, I don't really need them here. Then we have the Zombie series by Darren Shan. They are very pretty books, and I like zombies, but I can't justify buying them all. There are 12 of them, and if I want them all to match, that's seven more hardcover books that I just don't feel like investing in. I also have a lot of unread zombie books. See the top shelf up there. I don't know if you actually can. And I also have a whole series of Darren Shan books that I haven't read, so I just can't justify keeping these ones around. Next we have Princess Ben by Catherine Gilbert Murdoch. I bought this a long time ago. I'm not really big into fantasy, so I tried to read this and I really couldn't get into it, and I've heard that there are some really good fantasy books out there to try if you want to get into fantasy, so I think I'm gonna stick with those and not keep this one. Next I have Cut by Patricia McCormick. I did read this book. I didn't really like it. I didn't think it portrayed self-harm well or correctly. It says that she did a bunch of research for this, but I don't think she really did, or that she didn't get much from it, and I didn't enjoy this book at all, so it's gonna go. Next is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I read this for school in 9th grade, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't finish it. I have no intentions of continuing the series, and I don't really want to support him as an author, so it's gonna go. Then we have Kill Me Once by John Osborne. I tried to read this a couple of weeks ago, and it was not well written. I didn't find the wording was like weirdly flowery and over descriptive and just simplistic somehow at the same time, and it wasn't for me. I knew by page 4, but I kept going until like page 58. Nope, no thank you. I maybe someone who really likes crime novels will enjoy this, but no, it wasn't for me. Was not for me. Then I have Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Steve Larson. I bought this after the American version of the movie came out. I never read it, and they're very long, and apparently they get technical, and it's just not something that interests me anymore, so I'm gonna donate it. Next I have Speak by Lauren Halls Anderson. This is another one I read for school. Well, I bought it to read for school. I mostly just kind of googled all of the answers I needed because I didn't feel like reading this, and years later I still don't feel like reading this, so it's gonna go. If any of these are going to be like controversial, it'll be this one. This is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I really did not enjoy this book. I read it after I saw the movie, and the movie was really good. I really loved the movie. This book was just so boring, and like I didn't feel like anything really happened, and I don't understand what the hype about this book is about. I didn't find it good at all, so it's going away forever. Then I have Orange is the New Black by Piper Kerman. I bought this when the show first came out. My mom read it, she kind of liked it. I don't have any interest in reading this now, so goodbye. And lastly, in the first box, I have East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I'm not really sure why I own this book. I don't have any interest in reading this book, so it's time to say goodbye to this book. Moving on to the next box, I have the unofficial Charmed Companion, The Book of Shadows by Annie Genge. And I don't know why I have this. I've never seen Charmed. I think I bought this as a present for a friend and then never gave it to them. So I'm just gonna donate this, because why do I have this at all? I don't know. Next I have the box set of his Dark Materials, which is The Golden Compass, The Subtle Knife, and The Amber Spyglass. I don't have any interest in reading these. I've heard that they're not very well written, and I mean, I don't care about the aspect of hating Christianity. That's fine to read in a book, doesn't bug me. I'm not religious, so whatever, but like, I've just heard that these get really dumb and that they're not good. So if I want to read them someday, there's a hair on my face, I will do so in another form, but for now, these don't need to be taking space on my bookshelf. Next we have Virals by Kathy Reish. I bought this because it was on Overstock, so it was super, super cheap at the local giant book chain around here in Canada, and it doesn't interest me, so I'm not going to read it. It was $5, I don't feel like I'm out anything. Then I have The Otherworldlies by Jennifer Ann Cogler, I think. This just doesn't interest me anymore. I bought it on a whim, and I'm not going to read it. Then I have Wildlings, Book 1, Under My Skin by Charles Delint. This was, again, like the last book, a spur-of-the-moment thing, but I don't know if you can see, it has like a cool hollow cover, so it's kind of pretty, but I don't feel like reading it, and there's 3 books in the series, and they're really obscure, and I don't feel like searching for them, and I just don't really want it. Next we have Book 2 in the Chronicles of Nick, Invincible by Sherilyn Kenyon. My friend had a box of books I didn't want and let me look through them, and I found this one and thought maybe it'd be interesting, but it's the second book in a series of like 7 books, and I don't have that much desire to read these. So, goodbye, Nick. Then I have Wolves of the Beyond, books 1 through 5, I think, by Catherine Lasky. Again, I bought these because I like wolves, but I bought them when the first one came out. That was a long time ago. I'm not going to read these, so they're going. Next I have Dark Inside by Jean Roberts. Yes. And I'm getting rid of this one because I bought it in hardback to match the second one. Next I have The Killables by Gemma Malley. Yes. And my cat's meowing over there. I don't know if you can hear him. You probably can. But I bought this on a whim. The second book seems to be really hard to find for some reason, and I don't feel like putting any effort into this series, so it's gonna go. Next is Jessica's Guide to Dating on the Dark Side by Beth Fantasky. I bought this after my Twilight phase because, if you don't know, my real name is Jessica. So I was like, oh my god, this is like so about me. It's about a girl named Jessica who's like actually a vampire or some crap like that. I don't know. So, nope, no thank you. I don't want to keep this. No thanks. Next I have Unwind by Neil Shusterman. I am not getting rid of this book because I didn't like it. It is one of my favorite books, so I replaced it with hardback. Then I have Guide to the Hunger Games by Carolyn Carpenter, and I don't feel like I need this at all, so it's going. Then I have the first 6 books of The Confessions of Georgia Nicholson by Louise Renison. I really enjoyed these when I read them when I was younger, but I don't think I'm going to go back and reread them, and I never finished the series, so I think it's just time to say goodbye. Then I have the Dead Is series by Marlene Perez. I read the first couple books when I was younger again, but I just don't feel like I want to reread it to remember what happens, and I don't really want to read the end, so it's going. Next we have Castle in the Air by Diana Wayne Jones. I am not getting rid of this because I disliked it. I haven't read it, but I bought a different copy that matches the rest of mine. So that was my book Unhaul. I hope you got something out of it, even if it's just interesting to see what other people don't want to keep anymore. And yeah, I will see you whenever I do my next video.